Okay, on to the next Skip the Line, man. This one also for Michael Rater. Again, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for all of the people who are requesting Skip the Line reactions. This week's sort of table is completely booked up, man. We've got a full schedule of Skip the Line reactions that we got to drop this week. And I think we've got 2 or 3 slots left. And then we completely fully booked. Right, this is Globus Diem XD live. You do have a message over here, Michael. So Globus is a movie trailer music inspired band consisting of mixed producers, musicians and vocalists. The band is led by an Israeli American composer and producer, Yoav Goren. He has composed music for several Hollywood movie trailers, including Lord of the Rings, wow, War of the Worlds, Spider-Man 2 and 3, etc. Okay, this is gonna be down my alley, 100%. This sounds very composer Hans Zimmerish type vibe, so I'm all for it, man. Let's rock and roll. Thanks very much, Michael. I appreciate the skip line once again. Globus Diem XD, let's see. To watch something like this live, I really would. I'm gonna love this. I can feel it already. You know what I love most about these orchestral pieces is it's consistently building up. I love that so much, right? It just starts and as the track lifts in tempo, your emotion lifts in tempo as well. It's actually ridiculous. It's almost like being on a roller coaster. That's why I love these kind of pieces, because it's like being on a roller coaster. They take you to a place all the way to the top and then they'll drop you. They just drop you. They literally just, as they drop you, they leave you in that space of sort of trapped emotion that can't get out. Essentially, it's almost trapped in your throat over here. It's what I love about this kind of music, because it's a language in itself. It's not music. This is actually a language. It's mad. Specifically this, like, we're not talking about other music pieces. These orchestral pieces, right? Created by producers like Clint Mansell and Hans Zimmer and these kind of guys, right? These guys are composing a language in a sense, right? Because it speaks direct to your emotions, man. And the fluctuations in your emotions on a single piece is insane, right? That's what this kind of music brings out. like that choir in the background, but it's very subtle. You don't hear the choir as much, right? So the layering is really, really good on this, right? But you can, I mean, the choir is there, just adding to it, right? And I think also the levels in terms of how all the instrumentation come in and how all the vocals come in needs to be really, really well managed so that one's not overpowering the other. But this is what these composers do. They're so damn good at doing this, right? This does sound very Lord of the Ring-ish to me personally, right? But also, this kind of thing always reminds me, specifically when they do that, like a female vocalist, Oomba Dextra, which is like very like that, very sort of like mythical type rock music. It always reminds me of like Nightwish. Always. Floor Jansen. Right, it always reminds me of Floor Jansen, and she's insane, man. But it's almost like the storytelling of an age that, you know, of a time and years past, and the medieval days, and you know, this is probably why it's composed like this, because you want to actually get that feeling, right? This is usually the kind of pieces that you would use for things like Lord of the Rings, because you want to give them that feeling of that time. Essentially, Lord of the Rings, what else would there be? Gladiator, things like that, right? So, but that female vocalist, like that female vocal on it, is like so damn important to sort of bring alive a piece like this. Sorry, I'm pausing just for a little second. So I'm not entirely sure what they're saying here, right? I mean, maybe you guys can enlighten me in terms of what they're saying, but it does sound Latin to a certain Mistress lingua. Lingua, obviously, language, essentially. But it's not any sort of Latin languages as we know today. I think this sounds very sort of like old school, first gen Latin, personally. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. I stand corrected. You guys let me know. Talking about where it actually just takes you on a journey, and then it takes you all the way to the top, and then it drops you. It crescendos, right? And when it gets to that point, it's supposed to lift your emotions all the way up there, right? That's where you get the goosebumps. That's where you get the chokiness, where you can literally breathe. That's what I love about this, man. It's such powerful music. You know, I actually heard them say Magnus over there, which just reminds me of something. If you want to hear pieces like this, right, there's an album called Magnus by Audio Machine. that is absolutely insane. Find that album. It's called Magnus by Audio Machine, right? And find a song called Wars of Faith. It is just insane, right? Go give that track a shot. Listen to it and come back and report and tell me what you think of it. Just insane. Love this piece. This is 100% my kind of music. The only thing I'll say about this is that I can't listen to it all of the time. Specifically this, where there's like where it gets to a point where it's like hectic with the vocals, hectic with the instrumentation and stuff like that. I usually tend to like to listen to the classical music, orchestra-based classical music, but where it's like a lot more like chilled. Things like Gladiator, things like Time by Hans Zimmer, things like that, where it doesn't get so hectic. This obviously for movie soundtracks it makes sense, but for like just listening normally, I kind of feel like those parts where they really get to the pinnacle with all of the vocals combined and all of the instrumentations combined sometimes just gets a little too sonically unpleasing, to sort of just listen to on repeat, essentially. So you guys let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.